Hi, my name's Matt and this is Matchbook Custom. Tomorrow we've got Andy's chopper in for a bit of a refurb. We've got to start doing some work on it. And the first thing we've got to do is get the air suspension on the rear, the bigger rear tyre on, and a mock-up of the rear mudguard. So we've got to chop that down. One of the biggest problems I've got is how I'm going to get it all apart because it's too long to fit on my ramp. So watch this space.
Little waste, and we tearing down this place off the liquor that we chase. Got some egos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything.
Okay, so myself and Steve have managed to squeeze it on the jack and the ramps. Now I'm going to attempt to figure out how I can jack it up and manipulate everything for the air suspension. So we've been fitting the suspension and playing around with it, and we've got a few issues with the size of the cage and how high it lifts it, and we think we're going to have to do some slight modifications to the frame and swing arm to get them in properly. So with the suspension, I've got one unit on working at the minute, but we are going to get the engine and transmission out and then start figuring out what we need to do to get that to sit in place. In the meantime, we've managed to fit the 260 tyre on. Obviously that's with the suspension dropped down to its lowest. I'll show you it pumped up in a second. And then we've been looking at whereabouts we're going to chop that mudguard so we can show off as much of that tyre as possible. Okay, so we're back on the chop. I'm not sure where we got to the last video, but in between then and now, we've stripped the engine out and put the rear tyre on just to see what that's all looking like and if we've got clearance and stuff. And we've had a problem with the air suspension. So you've got to fit your two air shocks in these gaps here, but that bar there is not central. So we can't fit that side in and we've got to space everything out. So I've had to strip it out so we can figure out where we can cut, what we can cut. And now the plan is today to strip it down to its bones, get the frame over to my mate Eddie over at Peterborough Wake Park. As he's an engineer, he can do all the welding and chopping and whatnot for us. So I'm going to stick my camera on charge because it's flat and then hopefully get some time lapse for you and get somewhere.
Mine's kinda naughty. They say that once you taste it, you cannot replace it. She could get you high, all the dopamine inside triggers fast once she's naked.
Okay, so my GoPro's stopped working, but so I'm switching to the phone. I'm not quite sure how this is going to look or whatever on the old video, but here we go. So I've chopped the mudguard and shaped it, filed it, made it smooth. And the next move is just to start stripping the whole bike, basically. I've still got some fettling with the front mudguard because we've got these bits here that we don't fancy seeing. So I'm going to kind of, once it's off, cut these down, and then I'm going to trim up the inside here so we can get it lower to the tyre. So yeah, so next is strip it down, measure up the front mudguard, so I've got to cut the front mudguard as well, and then yeah, I'll wait for powder coat. So we've got the whole bike stripped down now. Is it better this way or is it better this way? I can't tell, but we'll keep it this way for now. So whole bike stripped down now. Tomorrow I've got to strip all the bearings out and all the seals and all the shit and whatnot for ready for paint and powder coat. Basically, it should take about another half day's worth of work. And that's it. I'm going to contact when I drop the stuff off. I'm going to speak to the guys and see if they can do like a couple of pictures or videos as they're doing the work. So I think it'd be quite interesting to add that to the next video or do a video in between. So thank you for watching, and I will hopefully make a decent video out of this later on. Cheers.